Hello, this is English Time with AIOS. I'm Alex Linville, the Director of the American Institute of Studies. Now today we're going to focus on pronunciation, how to really speak like an American. We're going to look at two of the most common past tense verbs. So we have the past simple and the present perfect. Now even though it says present, it is a past tense verb. So you use it when you talk about things that have already happened. Now at school, they teach you about pronouncing the past tense. They say there's three possible ways to pronounce the ED on the end of a past simple verb. You have a D sound, a T sound, and an ED sound. ED. Now this is important. I'm glad that Thai people learn this information, but I think it's overemphasized, meaning it's made too important. So in case you weren't taught this, I'm going to show you the perfect way to say these verbs. Then I'm going to show you the way that Americans really say them. So at school, you might have learned danced, loved, moved, with a hard D sound on the end. Now it's very important that you have a sound on the end. If you just say dance, well, people won't know you're talking about the past. If you just say love, people won't know that you're talking about something that's already happened. So again, it's danced, loved, moved. That's the perfect way, very strong. The T is for verbs that end in certain letters, like K or P. Now there's rules to this, but I'm not going to focus on the rules today. I'm going to focus on the way people really say them. So walked, pushed, stopped. It's like a drum. It makes a t sound. Again, walked, pushed, stopped. Now again, that's the perfect book version of how people say these verbs, but it's not the real way. In America, nobody knows about this difference. Americans don't focus on it. We just say the verb in the way that sounds natural. Sometimes we say danced with the D, and sometimes we say danced with a T. Nobody cares. It doesn't make any difference. People will understand you. Even though the book shows you the perfect way, real Americans say it whatever way they want, the natural way. So let me say these verbs with a T. Even though many teachers will tell you that's wrong, I'm telling you it's the way people often will say them. Danced, loved, moved. Now does that sound funny to you? Maybe, but to an American it sounds perfectly natural. Again, with these verbs that are supposedly always said with a T, walked, pushed, stopped. Is that wrong? To an American, it sounds very normal. The only thing that does sound wrong is how hard I'm saying the sound. Walked is too much. It should be a soft sound. Walked, pushed, stopped, danced, loved, moved. Hopefully you could hear that I combined the T's and the D's together. Some of these I said with a T, some I said with a D. Some of these I said with a T, some I said with a D. I did that to show you that Americans mix the sounds. We don't have a hard rule about this. Now the next kind is a hard rule. There's only one way to say these verbs, and that's with the ed sound. A verb that ends with a T or ends with a D, you say with an ed. Weighted, added, hated. Okay, it makes an ed. Weighted, added, hated. You cannot say weighted or weighted with a T or a D. That's wrong. It has to have that extra sound. Weighted, added, and hated. So let's look at 3 subjects and 3 verbs, all in the simple past tense. Now, before I say them, I want you to think about the way the book or a teacher would tell you is the perfect way. Just say the verb in your head. How would you naturally say it? So for the first one, most teachers would tell you, Tom arrived. You keep the D sound. But again, it doesn't make any difference. Tom arrived with a T. Again, Tom arrived. Or Tom arrived with a D. They both sound very good. The next one, Sam cooked. Most teachers would tell you it should be a T sound. Cooked. But again, Sam cooked with a D. Cooked also sounds very natural. The important thing is that you have a D or a T. If you say Sam cook with no extra sound, people won't know you're talking about the past. It has to be cooked or cooked. The choice is yours. So for the last example, Kate needed, you have to have the ED. You don't have a choice. Because the verb ends in D, it has that extra sound. Ed. Kate needed. So let me say all of them again one more time. Tom arrived. Sam cooked. Kate needed. Again, these can be either a D or a T. The choice is up to you. So that's the simple past. Let's look at the other common past tense verb, the present perfect. Now with this verb tense, the way people really talk, they always use contractions. They never say I have or you have. It's always I've or you've. So let me say them for you slowly so you understand. I've, you've, he's, we've, they've. And just so you know, the VE is supposed to be have, and the S is. Okay? So this is really I have, right? I've, you've, he's, we've, they've. Now with the pronouns, people say it like this. They make the V sound. And for the S, they make a Z. He's, or she's, or it's. Okay? And the V for the other sounds. But when you add a real word, a subject, like people, it changes to OF, of. People of seen. Again, people of seen. When they say it quickly, the V changes to an of. People of seen. The S, though, stays the same. Bob's seen. Bob's seen. You always have to have that extra sound. You cannot say Bob's seen or people seen. There must be an extra sound, a contraction. Bob's seen. People of seen. People of. People of. Bob's. Now to make sure you're saying a Z, You can hold your hand to your throat and zzz, you'll feel it move. It will vibrate. Bob's seen. People have seen. Teachers have seen. Teachers have seen. Teachers have seen. Always of. So let's do it one more time. Bob's seen. People have seen. Teachers have seen. Bob's. People of. Teacher of. So I hope this has been very helpful for you. This has been two common past tense verbs, the past simple and the present perfect, and the way people really say them. So this has been English Time with AIOS. My name's Alex Linville, and please keep practicing your pronunciation and working on the way people really speak.